The Bangladesh government has raised the minimum monthly wage of garment workers by around 51% to TK 8,000 from TK 5,300 now with effect from December. This was announced by State Minister for Labor and Employment Mohammad Mujibul Haq Chanu at a press conference recently after the final meeting of the wage board formed in January. Nigeria has signed a memorandum of understanding with Chinese firm Shendong Ruyi International Fashion Industry for an investment of $2 billion in Katsina, Kano, Abia and Lagos states to grow, gin and spin cotton and manufacture textiles and garments, Minister of Industry, Trade, and Investment Hakachukwu Alama announced recently in Abuja. Uzbekistan has invited Belarus to jointly initiate oil extraction and cotton processing, Uzbek President Shavkat Mirziyoyev said during his recent talks with Belarusian counterpart Alexander Lukashenko in Tashkent. He is hopeful of decent prospects in joint agricultural cooperation as well as agriculture in Uzbekistan is in a difficult condition. Bangladesh's exports of the ready-made garment to India have witnessed substantial growth since receiving duty-free access to the Indian market in 2011, according to High Commissioner of India to Bangladesh Harsh V. Shringla. Such exports in 2017-18 rose by 115% to $278.68 million from $129.81 million in 2016-17, he said in Dhaka recently. Cotton is driving the growth of the U.S. agricultural exports to Southeast Asia. In 2017-18, cotton was the leading export to Vietnam, followed by Indonesia and Thailand, the Foreign Agricultural Service of the U.S. Department of Agriculture said. In 5 years, cotton exports have accounted for over 2/3 of the growth in U.S. exports to the region. New Zealand has banned the practice of mulesing sheep, making the surgical removal of a sheep's breech, tail skin folds or tail skin wrinkles a criminal offence. Introducing a legislation under the Animal Welfare, Care and Procedures Act, it will impose a $5,000 penalty on individual offenders and $25,000 on firms. The ban comes into effect from October 1. The China National Textile and Apparel Council has expressed interest to invest in Ethiopia, whose President Mulatu Teshome recently held discussions on investment opportunities in the country with a Chinese delegation led by CNTAC President Sun Ruiz. The delegation visited Ethiopia for feasibility studies for large-scale textile investments. Responding to Washington's latest duty increase in a dispute with Beijing, China on Tuesday announced retaliatory tariffs against $60 billion worth U.S. goods. The tariffs include an additional 5% duty on about 1,600 kinds of U.S. products like computers and textiles and an extra 10% on more than 3,500 items, including chemicals, wheat, and meat. India's Aditya Birla Group has signed a deal to sell Aditya Birla Retail, known for its more retail chain, to domestic private equity fund Samara Capital and U.S. e-commerce company Amazon for $42 billion. The buyers would take $40 billion debt in ABRL. ABRL's accumulated losses had crossed $67 billion in 2016-17 and may have risen further. Bangladesh sought better prices for its exports, especially garments, from U.S. retailers and brands, duty privilege for all products exported to the U.S. market, and increased investment from the United States at the fourth meeting of the Trade and Investment Forum agreement held in Washington last week, according to the Bangladesh Commerce Ministry. Log on to www.fibre2fashion.com and stay updated with more textile stories.